you will always love hip-hop. Keep it flowing like a river, so I drip drop. Verses and bars, we eating dinner with the stars. Excuse me while I float away, my brain is on Mars. Cause it's the Big Kidz podcast with Chris Williams. Sit back, relax, like your spliff, we in the building.
Yo, 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 this is Chris Williams, and welcome back. It's been a pretty rocky month in terms of being consistent with the podcast, but I'm back, but I'm refocused, but I'm ready to fucking rock. No, guys, as you can see, I just played you guys a Vince McMahon clip. For whatever reason, if YouTube strikes it, I will put the link in the description because it is 100% a must-watch coming from a multi-billionaire. He's just letting you know exactly how it is. Life, guys, is not fair. If you're in the same ballpark in terms of age as I am, means you've almost been here for about 30 years. In 30 years, it doesn't matter how sheltered you may have been. It doesn't matter how well or how bad or how mediocre your life has been. You understand that shit ain't fair. Now, the people who lose their goddamn minds on a day-to-day basis are the ones that think life should be fair. Guys, life isn't fair. It isn't. Some people are more beautiful. Some people are more naturally gifted in terms of athletics, in terms of educational skills, in terms of people skills. Some of these things, while other things can be built upon, other things can be worked on, certain things in life just are completely out of your control, and you may be a beneficiary, or you might be somebody that looks at it and says it isn't fair. But it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, you have to play with the cards that you are dealt. Sometimes you have to make your own luck. Sometimes you have to be the loudest person in the room. Sometimes you have to push people out of their comfort zones. It is what it is. Listen, people like Vince McMahon, who has been pretty upfront and unapologetic about the type of person that he is for 40 years. Love him, don't love him. Like him, don't like him. Respect him, don't respect him. We've known exactly who Vince McMahon is for the past 40 years. So when something like, he's paid out $12 million over the past, I think it was 6 years, something like that, to 4 different women to silence them in terms of having an affair or sexual misconduct, things along those lines. When he pays out $12 million and it doesn't hurt his brand, being the WWE, what does that tell you? One, it tells you in that line of business, fair or not fair, nobody gives a fuck about any of that. Why? Because that goes right along with his character that he's been portraying. The reason why these politicians and these CEOs and these pastors and your teacher and your principal and all of these people get in trouble when scandals like this come up, why they have to resign, why they have to sell their stock, why they got to do this, why they got to do that, those things happen because they've been lying the whole time. They felt comfortable hiding amongst the grass, hiding amongst the leaves, trying to act like I'm this type of person in public, but behind the door or behind the curtain, I'm that type of person. There's a reason why Vince McMahon still gets to be part of WWE, even though he resigned. And yes, guys, I just said that you don't have to resign and you don't have to do these certain things when you're honest and upfront about who you are as a person the whole entire time. But it's not like Vince McMahon resigned and he has nothing to do with the business anymore. The man is 76 years old. The man is 76 years old. He still gets to be part of the week-to-week story. His daughter runs the company. This is a family affair. I'm sure it wasn't, oh, I have to step down. The only reason he had to, or did, or took the suggestion of stepping down was because it was probably time to focus on, or let his daughter focus on it. Coach her up some more. Teach her how this fucking game works. And I know I've talked about how I hate WWE in the past and how I think grown men... First of all, I don't think I've ever said I don't think grown men should watch it. I think as long as you understand what the hell's going on there, it's fine. As long as you don't really think that The Undertaker rose from the dead, it's okay. It's a play. And again, I feel like being in this line of business, I don't know how much in this line of business I am. I don't make money doing this shit. But doing podcasts and things like that, you have to sell. You have to get people excited. You have to bring the energy. You have to perform. And like it or not, it doesn't matter how good of a person you are. If you pray 5 times a day, if you go to church on Sundays, none of that shit matters if you're not entertaining. And when I say, let me back up, because I know people are going to be mad, because those things do matter in a average person's life. But that shit don't matter in the lives of people who get to sway public opinion. It doesn't. It really, truly does not. And I'm going to get into more how life isn't fair and how entertainment equals money throughout the rest of this podcast. But I'm just trying to lay the groundwork right now for you guys to wrap your head around that. We've been there. We've been there before with this podcast. We've talked about hypocrisies and how things aren't fair and if things were fair. But guys, at the end of the day, it's not. It's never going to be. It is never, ever, ever, ever going to be fair. Not for the majority of people. Probably not for me or you. Life's not going to be fair. Probably not for Tom, Dick, and Larry down the street. Life probably isn't going to be fair. You're going to have moments. You're going to have hours, seconds, minutes that are fair. But overall, it's not going to be fair. So you have to learn to work within that. You will live a much better life if you could come to terms with that. When something fucked up happens to you, don't look at your friend Billy. Don't look at your friend Jane. Don't look at fucking Becky, George, and be like, well, that's fucked up. It worked out for them. That's life. That's life. And if you're not going to be somebody that when you're getting slapped in the face to slap back, you're sure as hell not going to get any fairness. If you're not a person that sees an opening, an opportunity, and doesn't take it and just expects things to fall into your lap, you're going to be stuck there. You're going to be stuck there. If you want something, you need to put yourself in a position to take it. I'm not talking about stealing nothing. I'm talking about putting your all into it. Or fuck putting your all, putting just enough to get it into it. Fuck the all. I don't want to hear that put my all into it shit. I don't want to hear, oh, I bust my ass every day at work. Motherfucker, no you do not. I promise you. at least half of the people listening to this podcast do not bust their ass at work. There is a astronomical amount of difference between, oh, I just had a long ass day, and oh shit, my shoulder hurts, my knee hurts. Fuck, that was a hard day of work. Two completely different fucking things. And stop conflating the two. Nobody that works hard is a fucking millionaire. Nobody that breaks their back every single day is a millionaire. And I know that's a hyperbolic statement. There might be a few, but most millionaires are not breaking their damn backs. They might be putting in 12-hour days, 15-hour days. Doing what, though? Doing what? You know who works hard? A motherfucker at McDonald's, Burger King. They work hard. Motherfuckers that work for Aaron's and Rent-A-Center, they work hard. And what do they get paid? And what do they get paid? Teachers don't work hard. They put in a lot of fucking time. They deal with a lot of bullshit. But that's not back-breaking work. Imagine having to put up all that time, spend your own money on shit, and break your back at the same goddamn time. So when we're on the, oh, I want to make more money, you're not going to make more money jumping from fucking job to job. You're not going to make any you're not going to make any significant amount of more money jumping from job to job. You got to make that shit yourself. You got to find your own lane and do that shit yourself. Because guys, listen, I understand going from making 40 grand a year to making 100 grand a year. That may sound like a lot. Going from job A to job B. But how much are the motherfuckers that own the company that you're working at making if you're making $100,000? And listen, I get it. This is where life isn't fair comes back into play. How do you become that person? How do you get to that spot? It's unfair. It is unfair. You're stuck where the fuck you're stuck. Your limits are your limits, and it's very hard, if not impossible, to break through those limits. Because it's not like that dude that runs the company, who's the CEO of the company, who is the owner of the company. I'm not even gonna say founder, because a founder's probably got to break their back to get to where they're at. Maybe little more chance that they had to break their back. But I digress. The motherfucker who's running the show, it's not he's smarter than you. It's not that he looks better than you. He's fucking more of a people person than you. His ass got lucky. He got the right connects. Now I'm going to talk about Trump. I'm going to talk about Trump in a little bit for a minute. But one of the people that was trying to help him overthrow the election was the Overstock.com guy. Now let's think about that. Overstock.com, meaning he's buying items from stores that are overstocked. These places are overstocked. Now, me and you can't call up Target and be like, what do you guys got overstocked? Yeah, I'll take that. Me and you can't call Walmart. Hey, what do you guys got overstocked? Yeah, I'll take that. Sears, none of these stores. But for some reason, and I highly doubt it includes back-breaking work, does this man have that line? Does this man have that connection? And he gets to make hundreds of millions of fucking dollars and have the President of the United States' ear. Life's not fucking fair. Get used to it. And I'm not even saying that to try to make anybody feel like shit. I'm saying this to you guys because it is the truth. And the sooner you realize that, the sooner you could take your own you could take your life into your own hands. You'll be more demanding. You'll expect more. And while you may never hit the Vince McMahon level of success, because that's one in 500 million type of person right there. Again, love it, hate it. The dude's worth over $2 billion. Now, whatever that's equivalent to when we're 76 years old, not too many of us are going to have that. Not too many of us are going to have that. Now, that brings me to the next topic of conversation. And again, I may flip-flop between topics today because everything has a little bit to do with the next thing. And I wanted to talk about Brittney Griner and what is going on. Again, fair, not fair. It's clearly not fucking fair that this woman has been in prison for 4 or 5 months for some empty vape carts. Okay, rewind. It's also not fair that niggas been doing time decades over weed charges right here in the United States of America. So when they try to say if this was LeBron James, this would never have happened. Guys, I have my criticisms for LeBron James. I do. If you listen to the podcast, you've heard them. But LeBron James and Brittney Griner, however much she is or is not getting paid, they both have enough money to have plugs wherever they're living. So trying to bring carts back from Russia or forgetting to unpack the cart from your luggage, I can't even put words to that. I cannot even put words to that. If you're in Russia, you need to understand how they're going to operate. If you're in Russia and there is a war brewing going on, you should probably be on your fucking shit. You need to dot your I's, cross your T's, make sure you're doing everything by the book. You're 6 foot fucking, 6'9", some shit like that. Black woman with dreads. Do you not think that it's probably easy to point you out? Do you think it's probably not easy to scapegoat you? You're a professional athlete. So again, I feel bad because I do feel like it is unfair that she has spent so much time. But what is the theme of this episode? What is the theme of this episode? I'm sure we're 17, 18 minutes into this, and I'm sure you guys can tell me. I can't use the bandwidth that I possess inside of my brain. Maybe not that much of a bandwidth. That's why I sure as hell can't spend it worried about somebody who brought carts to the Russian airport. Especially when still to this day, people in the United States who do not have the social status as Brittney Griner, who do not have the money of Brittney Griner, are locked up. Now, the whole, if the WNBA paid her what she is due, what she deserves, then she wouldn't have had to go to Russia. There's those people making that argument. And this is what I got to say to that. First of all, this whole WNBA players, this whole, in all honesty, women athletes not getting paid as much as male athletes do is bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. And I say that only because, do you hear Beyonce complaining about pay? Do you hear J-Lo complaining about pay? Do you hear the Kardashians complaining about how much they're getting paid? Why is that? Why is that? Because they're getting what they're owed. Why are they getting what they're owed? Not out of fairness. And I use the Kardashians because that's the most unfair bullshit going on in the world. But why do they get the millions of dollars that they get to do whatever it is that they're doing? Because people are entertained by it. Because women are making their significant other go to the concerts to see them and watch their bullshit TV shows and all this, buy the merchandise, fucking give the clicks on Instagram. When it comes to women's professional athletics, do they put in as much time as the men do? Yes, probably, if not more, because that's how women operate. Women are typically way more prepared for shit than men are. that's how that goes. Women are typically more prepared than men are to do things. I don't think that there's much of an argument to have against that. Okay? And now I'm talking on average. I'm not talking every single fucking case, but on average. That's why judges default to the mom when there's a custody battle fucking 98% of the time, because women typically got their shit together just a tad bit more. Okay, they're usually a little bit more ready to get down. So no, it's not they're not as prepared, they're not working as hard, they're not putting in the time and breaking their backs. No, that's not it. I put it on the women. Ever since Bill Burr has said this, I forget what stand-up it was, or maybe it was a podcast or something, but if you dragged your men to these women professional sporting events like you drag them to everything else, they would be getting paid more. Listen, Russia did not be like, you know what? Yeah, we're going to pay you just as much as the WNBA pays you, if not more, because they like them. Because they're like, oh, you know what? The nice guy thing to do would be to bring these American women over here and pay them more just because. I'm assuming the arenas are a little more full over in Russia. I'm assuming there's more of their jerseys being bought in Russia. I'm assuming their citizens are interacting with these players more in Russia. So nothing in terms of getting paid has anything to do with fairness. Not at this point in the game. Not at this point. Now, if you're talking a normal job where everybody's doing the same thing, yes, everyone needs to be paid the same. Or, you know what I'm saying? Depending on what you're doing, similar. But yes, that's different. When you're playing professional sports, when you are an actor or actress, when you're a fucking musician, it's all about the engagement. It's all about how many tickets are being sold, how many singles are being bought. All of those types of things go into how and why you get paid what you get paid. And we're at the point where if you got a problem with how these companies and corporations are paying you for your services as an entertainer, a lot of times you could take that shit on yourself. You could go start your own shit. You go right to Instagram, sing your songs. You sing your motherfucking songs on Instagram and you get fucking 5 million plays, likes, comments, all that other shit, you're gonna get paid. So again, guys, life is not fair. If you don't like it, you have to do something about it. This is not 20, 30 years ago. Social media has changed the fucking game. If you want more, you need to do more. And I'm sorry if you doing more gets you $3 million while LeBron doing less gets him $10 million. That's the way it is. And why is it like that? Because that's what men like. Men and even women go to NBA games. They go to NFL games, NHL games, baseball games, Bruno Mars concerts, Drake concerts. They go see Thor. They go see Jurassic World. They go do all these things that are very much centered around men, and they go and spend their money to do it. The women are okay going to do it. Now again, if women want women to get paid more and on the entertainment level, and I'm going to repeat it one more time because I don't want to hear no bullshit. On the entertainment level, you need to make your man, you need to make your girlfriend, you need to make your significant other go with you. Y'all need to be tailgating outside the women's football games and the women's basketball games. Because, guys, Jake Paul has clearly showed us that it's not a talent thing. It's an intrigue thing. We could clearly see that Jake Paul is not the most talented boxer in the world. But we can also see that he gets the most clicks, the most likes, the most attention out of anybody in that boxing world. So why is he getting paid more? It's sure as hell not because he spent 20 years putting his heart and soul into this. It's because people want to see it. People want to see him get knocked out. People want to see him win. People want to see what happens. Life is not fair. Get used to it. And to think, listen, guys, I'm sorry to break it to you. Let's have a little civics class, okay? Just a little one. Just a tiny one. Real quick. It does not matter who the president of the United States of America is. It does not matter if it is your favorite person in the world. It doesn't matter if it's Oprah Winfrey, The Rock, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Stacey Abrams. It doesn't matter who it is. Elizabeth Warren, Bernie Sanders. None of this matters if you do not have the 60 votes in the Senate. So when I hear people complaining, actually, let me rewind this back real quick. I'm going to make another point first. So when people think that Joe Biden should get Brittney Griner out of Russian prison at all costs by any means necessary, do you really understand what you're asking? You're asking this man to start a fucking war with Russia over getting somebody out that, if this was a fair world, wouldn't be there. But apparently she did some dumb shit. We're not starting a war over that. Okay, I just wanted to make that point. On to what I was talking about, the vote situation. Because all you've been hearing is this is Joe Biden's, he's the reason why gas is high. He's the reason why voting rights hasn't been updated since whenever the fuck the last time it was updated. Joe Biden is not doing this. Joe Biden is not doing that. Listen, you cannot do it unless you got 60 fucking votes. Okay? So let's just clear that up. Joe Biden cannot do anything about abortion rights unless he's got 60 votes. Joe Biden cannot do anything in terms of guns unless he's got 60 votes. So it doesn't really matter who the hell is president. It could be a goddamn doorknob. You can't get anything done unless you got 60 votes. The only thing you could do with 50% plus one is get people through their nomination process. Get people put into positions within the government. That's all you can do. And in regards to the abortion rights, first of all, that's fucking insane, right? Like, that is super insane that we let a bunch of Christians decide that. Because listen, I'm not saying that it's a right thing or a wrong thing in abortion. I think it's a personal thing. If you don't believe in it, by all means, whatever, whatever the fuck the case may be. But do not put those beliefs on anybody else. It's been over 50 years. You don't just get to go back in time like that, or do you? Or do you? You just get to go back in time and erase shit? And the guys that aren't too concerned when it comes to these abortion bans, these people who just want to move to Florida and move to Texas, and guys, this was not just an abortion thing. This was a right to privacy thing as well. Of course, abortion is getting a lot of the airtime, but this is also a right to privacy. They are going to start tracking women's period apps on their phone. Now, why in the fucking world do you think that they are going to stop at that? They are going to be able to track you in these states whenever the fuck, however the fuck, for however long they want to. And that's when you assholes are going to have a problem. When you really realize what you did. When you really realize that you gave the state government carte blanche to be all up in your business 24/7, then you'll be upset. When one of you guys is one of you guys is about to catch a case regarding guns, regarding fucking little girls like you guys like to do in Mississippi. And before I go further, I'm just gonna cite some statistics in regards to that. Still got it? Yep. All right, here we go. According to the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, Mississippi had the highest rate of births of females between the ages of 15 and 19 in the year 2020 at 27.9 per 1,000 births. So it's clear what you guys like to do down there. And they're going to be all up in your shit. And even though you're dead fucking wrong, you're going to be mad that they got your text messages and your pictures and shit off of your phone without any sort of warrant. That's when you fuckers are going to be mad. It's a goddamn shame, guys. It's a shame. We're going back in fucking history for what? So some religious zealots can feel empowered? So they could make us live how they want us to live? They always talk about the left is trying to indoctrinate, and they're trying to brainwash, and they're trying to confuse you. No. And I shouldn't say completely no, because I'm sure everybody's got an agenda. But for the most part, for at least 51-52% of it, the liberals are just do whatever the fuck you want to do. Just leave me alone. Just leave me the fuck alone. In Missouri right now, guys, they are trying to make it so if you even have sex in Missouri, they'll be able. You have sex in Missouri on a Monday, and then 4 weeks later, you go back up to New York, you go back up to a state where abortion is legal, and they still want to be able to prosecute you because you had sex, you conceived the baby in Missouri. And everybody, how are they going to do this? They're going to use those fucking apps to track you. They are spending money, or they're ready to spend money to pay people to track you instead of upping their fucking medical field. Instead of upping their medical care. Instead of upping their educational departments. They're going to spend millions of dollars paying people to watch your ass. And when this all went through the other week, what, we just thought they were going to stop at that? They got this win, that's the end of it? No, they're going to see how far this rope goes. They're going to see how far they can get with this. It's not over. It's not. And when you got people like Clarence Thomas who are completely fucking corrupt, completely, and should not be a judge of nothing short of a fucking dunk contest, this is what you get. This is what you get. It doesn't have to do with what we want. It's not the will of the people. Life isn't fair. Do something about it or get used to it. Now, I wanted to talk about Donald Trump a little bit. I've been trying my best to steer clear of it for the past year or so. But he's being investigated for good reason. for good reason, this man's under investigation by the House January 6th committee. And a lot has come out. And this isn't a criminal court. So that, that's hearsay, that can't be listened to, shit, that doesn't happen here. This is a panel of Congress people and their lawyers and staffers asking questions. And they're building the puzzle. They're putting the puzzle together, and then they hand it off to the Justice Department, and they choose to do something with it or not do something with it, and hearsay and things like that become more of an issue. But the funny thing about what's going on right now is that everybody who is testifying is saying the same thing. And it's not Democrats. It's not what Trump will call rhinos, Republican in name only. This is lifelong, longer than Trump's been a Republican. Guys, you got to remember, Trump has just recently become a Republican when he wanted to run for president because he saw it as an easier route to become president, or at least gaining the attention. So it's not like these are Trump's people. These are the Rudy Giulianis of the world who, while I don't think his scruples are all there, he's telling the same story that everybody else is telling. He might not know it, but he's telling the same story everybody else is telling. They knew that they lost the election. They had a plan for what they were going to do. Whether they won the election, it was close, or they didn't win the election. Everything that happened was a plan. Donald Trump called those people to come to Washington, D.C. and do what they did on January 6, 2021. And guys, I get it. It's the fucking news. Who cares? Never in the history of this country has a president, guys, not fucking one, not a single president has not conceded. Yes, they may have went the legal route, challenged it here, saw if they can get it there, but at some point they conceded. This man still hasn't. This man has no intentions on it. If anything, he is continuing to try to make things worse. Nobody has done that. Not a Republican, not a Democrat, not a Libertarian. None of these fucking people, not an independent. Nobody has done this since 1776. Nobody. And he keeps talking. He keeps running his mouth. He keeps stirring the pot. Now, next week, they have a witness coming in. We don't know who it is yet. But Donald Trump will try to get him on the phone the other day. He's tampering with witnesses. He tried to shut down and collect the voting machines. The man, while the House was being overrun by his supporters, was putting out tweets to fuel the fire about how Mike Pence didn't do his job. While they were chanting "Hang Mike Pence," Donald Trump was tweeting about how Mike Pence didn't do his job. It took him 3, almost 4 hours to call in the National Guard, to call his supporters and rioters off. That's why this is a big deal. Not because it's something I want to talk about. It's something that needs to be talked about. It's something that needs to be addressed. This isn't conspiracy theory. This is what really fucking happened. And it's sad. It's sad that people like this get to continue on doing what they're doing with very little pushback. And that's why he continues to do it. He doesn't think that anything's going to happen to this. He doesn't think that trying to cheat an election is going to have any consequences. And if I were him, if I've lived the life that he's lived up until this point, and I have a very strong understanding that life isn't fair and nobody gives a fuck, I'd probably do the same thing. Until he sees different, he's going to keep doing the same thing. Until the day that man dies, he's going to continue to say and act the same way. Why? Because he's 76, 77 years old, something like that. And he has not been held accountable. His kids have not been held accountable. Listen, when he was being sued, again, look it up. Credible sources, not 4chan, not Instagram, not Twitter. When he got in trouble for using the Trump charity funds to pay for his campaign, listen to this punishment. Me or you going to fucking prison. This was his punishment. He had to pay $2 million to various charities. He needed to do a public apology, which I should pull it up. I don't feel like looking for it right now. You can pull it up. Very fucking lukewarm public apology. And his kids had to take a how not to misuse charity fund seminar. What kind of fucking accountability is that when you stole tens of millions of dollars and used it for it was supposed to be used for charity and you used it for your campaign? What about Trump University, where he stole millions of dollars from people? In the class action lawsuit, only had to pay back $25 million. He definitely stole more than $25 million. Again, life's not fucking fair. Yeah, guys, I don't fucking know. I don't know. But I do want to play a clip for you guys. That just summarizes, there we go, got the word out, how these Republicans intend to act going forward. How Donald Trump intends to act going forward. And then I'll start to talk about some of the shit that I care about and some of the things that I got going on and some of the thoughts that I have not regarding anybody fucking of any sort of importance. Be right back, guys. Oh, and before I go any further, this is from the Lincoln Project. I like to shout them out. They have been a great source of pushback when it comes to these Republicans, and they need to keep doing it because we need them, and you guys need to watch. Be right back.
I'm not mad at black people. Like, what are you talking about? Let me show you.
I love this guy's shirt, I tell you. Yeah, I'd love to have you get up here. Come on, get up here. Let me see. Get up. I think eventually they'll end up going back to their own countries with Nassar Jassar kicking in.
I want one of those shirts.
God is our lawgiver, our judge, and our king. So they established the legislative, judicial, and executive branches of government. America's government was designed and patterned after heaven. Don't separate God and government.
Yeah, sir, I'd hit him on the left, I'd hit him on the right. I'd hit him in the fucking center, sir.
Isn't it amazing how so much that President Trump said still rings true?
Don't get me wrong. I do not support the KKK killing black people, obviously. But that is really it. There are no KKK killing black people. That's fake.
I want this shirt. I'm going to wear it to the next rally.
I would do anything to protect my 5 grandchildren, including, as a last resort, shooting them.
You only have about 7 years left. You could worry about nuclear warming, but you can't worry about the global warming.
And so I remember being like in elementary school and asking my mom, like, I know that we're supposed to believe that people with different skin colors are the same, but like these people are clearly not the same as us. And my mom was like, do not let anybody hear you say that.
People that are just maniacally drunk on hate towards Donald Trump, you know what they really hate? They hate America.
I just thought that maybe Monticello would be protected from this disease of wokeism.
I want that shirt. I want both of them. Take those shirts off and give them to me right now.
On the heels of that, the Washington Post is reporting that Texas sues Biden administration over federal rules that require abortions be provided in medical emergencies to save the life of mother. This is the people that we're dealing with here, guys, all right? This is the people we're dealing with. I'm not even going to comment on that video because you guys heard it. You guys saw it. Fucking madness. Madness all around. They love it. They don't give a fuck about fair or not fair. They care about controlling. They care about power. They care about selling bullshit to the people. The KKK isn't killing black people. Now, guys, last week I was in Florida for a little vacation, and, well, first of all, fucking about 100 degrees down there. All right. Absolutely fucking scorching hot. You go into a room, 80 degrees, it feel like fucking AC. Saw a bull shark, almost shit my pants. Saw some alligator snouts, almost shit my pants. And I say almost shit my pants because I was in the water in a fucking kayak when this happened, alright? But anyway, while I was down there, I was listening to The Breakfast Club, which I never, ever listened to because I can't stand Charlemagne. And I don't really, I'm just not a fan. Not a fucking fan. I think he's one of those people that likes to show his ass because it gets some clicks and gets some views. And then he tries to turn that into he's some fucking philosopher. I just think he's full of shit. All right. But anyway, I'm down there listening to The Breakfast Club because every station is either rock and roll, country, or Jesus. But somehow, some way, I found the fucking Breakfast Club. And so I'm listening to it, and the topic of discussion, and once I heard the topic of discussion, I was just done. I was done. I got what I needed. I got whatever little information I needed to get from that episode or that day's show, and I'm out of there. I don't want to give these motherfuckers. I don't want to give him any more of my attention than I needed to. But anyway, the topic of rules for your funeral came up. And I thought that was a great topic to bring back to you guys to talk about. Now, personally, I don't know how you guys feel about your funeral or even think about it, but again, we're getting up there in age. Probably not a terrible idea to have some sort of an idea of how you would like that to go down. So I was thinking at my funeral, I got rules, okay? one, you're not allowed to wear any goddamn dress pants. That's not allowed. Do not come to my fucking funeral in dress pants, dress shoes. Don't come in any of that shit, all right? You come, the most dressed up I will allow is a pair of jean shorts, cargo shorts, something like that. That's what you got to wear. Something along those lines. You can even wear them little tight nut busters if you want. But no dress clothes. Now, when it comes to what you're going to have up top on, again, no dress clothes. The furthest I will go is allow you to wear a polo. No button up. If there's more than fucking 3 buttons on the shirt, you can't wear it, all right? It's more than 3 buttons, not allowed. Non-negotiable. Did I say that right? Secondly, there will be Hennessy, there will be Yinglings, and there will be smoke. You can partake, you can't partake, but that will be there. And don't be a fucking greedy motherfucker and try to like come up off of it, you know? Like, this isn't for you to make a fucking profit. You come fucking stuff your pockets with joints and motherfucking beers and shit. We're coming, we're having a good time, and we're fucking out. Alright? I don't want people up there giving my eulogy just talking about how fucking great of a person I was. That could be part of it. That could be 100%. You know, you give me my flowers. But also, I want a real cold, truthful eulogy. Say, yo, Chris was a good guy. Chris would look out for you. But fuck with him if you want to. He'll cut your ass off real quick. He didn't care. He treated you like a friend, and he expected, if you were his friend, for you to treat him like one back. He made mistakes. He did. He wasn't always right, but he would admit when he was wrong. When you called him out for being wrong, he wasn't going to fight it till the end. It wasn't worth it. I want things like that said about me. Don't talk, oh, he was such a great partner. No. If in the next 30, 40, 50 years I become a fucking dick, be like, yo, for the first 45 years of his life, he was cool, man, but he turned into an asshole. And listen, and say that and be like, I know he would want me to say this. He knew he became an asshole. He wasn't oblivious to it. So that's how, those are my rules. They may change over time, but I highly doubt the dress code will. Do not come to my fucking funeral with some fucking pants and that do not let your balls and vagina breathe. Do not do that. Why? Isn't this, I don't, it's supposed to be a celebration of life, right? You're supposed to be paying respect, right? So what I deem respectful is for you not to show up in no fucking pants and suit. Yo, I encourage sweatpants. I encourage shorts, flip-flops, all that. All that. I haven't decided if I want to be cremated or if I want to be buried yet. Honestly, I'll probably go with whatever's cheaper. I'll probably go with whatever's cheaper. Even in death, I'm gonna be a cheap motherfucker, and I really just don't want like my family to have to worry about paying for all. Like, nah, man, we can do that shit in the backyard. Honestly, do that shit in the fucking backyard. Oh, guys, oh fuck. But yeah, those are my rules. If you're there, stick to them. Remember this. Honestly, if you guys have the foresight, dig this up. Dig this little 7-8 minute audio up and listen to it before, listen to it during, and listen to it after, and see if you followed the fucking protocol, all right? All right, guys, that's pretty much the episode this week, and we'll just do a little bit of house cleaning type of thing since I haven't been here for a while. I definitely think I needed the 2 weeks off that I took, just because doing this, you get burnt out a little bit. Things can get repetitive. The passion leaves a little bit. But as you can see, this podcast episode, I came in hot. I was ready to go. I've been thinking about this for days, and I have many other things I wanted to talk about that I just wasn't going to do it because I didn't want to sit here for 3 hours. But I will have another episode out next week, if not earlier, depending on how my schedule goes. Things are, ever since things got back to quote-unquote normal, I haven't had as much time to do this podcast, but since I've been doing it for a little bit of time, I've been able to be a little more efficient with my time, which has allowed me to do it. But sometimes I think I'm a little more efficient than I actually am, and that's kind of where the last 2 weeks went. I was supposed to have videos out, I was supposed to have things put together, but work's been fucking crazy. Crazy-er. And I just, again, I'm somebody that I'm late to the fucking party. It takes me a little bit of time to get my ducks in a row, but once I have my ducks in a row, I'm fucking full steam ahead. But I am going to try to get out at least another half-hour episode, because I did want to talk about the college football conference realignments and the NIL deals and things like that. I wanted to do a segment on that. Maybe I'll save that, because I am... Let me write this down, or I'll forget. The 28th, July 28th through the 4th, I'm going to be putting out multiple episodes. That's like 100% guaranteed. Multiple episodes, probably anywhere from 4 to 7 episodes will be released that week. I got guests coming on that I'm very excited about. My boy Kenny Bradley, he's back from Mexico. He just played his 3rd year professional ball. My homegirl from back in the day, Kiki Jones, she is a women's professional football player, so I thought it'd be, fucking great to have her on. Let her be my first female guest on here to talk about a topic that I have a little bit of knowledge about, football. So she's gonna be on. I'm gonna have Scans on again. I'm gonna have my boy Dante Coker of Fastlane Training. He's gonna be on to give us an update of his business and how things are going, and how the goals have shifted, which ones he's reached, where he's going now. So it's gonna be cool to have him on, and I got a couple other people that are in the works, but it's gonna be a jam-packed week. So I should probably start prepping for that now. The next coming days, just prep for it, get the thumbnails together, schedule the times, get everything on my calendar. So I will have that coming out for you guys, and I very much hope that you tune in, because there will be something for everybody. If you're interested in women's empowerment, if you're interested in professional sports, if you're interested in getting into shape, setting goals, just talking football in general, it'll be there for you guys. So I'm very much looking forward to putting all that up on all the streaming platforms. Guys, again, please go on to YouTube and subscribe to the Big Kidz podcast, because the views are looking good. They're not looking good, all right? They're not looking fucking great, but overall the views are up if I combine the scores for all the platforms. But the amount of people that are interacting with the videos aren't the same amount of people that are subscribed is what I'm trying to say. So if you are listening to the podcast, give it a try on YouTube, subscribe on YouTube, so we can get that going. That way, when I put out these clips now, you guys can see them. When I put out these videos in the podcast, you guys can see them. You don't just have to listen to them. They're there for you guys. But yeah, so we're working towards something. Like I said, I have guests in the works. I have projects in the works, and I'm just trying to get to them. You know, I definitely need to be better with my time. I need to spend a little less time taking a shit, thinking about what I need to do, and actually doing it. You know, and I think I need to start waking up a little earlier. You know, waking up at 7:30, like I could wake up at fucking 5:36, you know. I need that extra hour and a half to bullshit, to, you know. And then at 7:30 I can start to get shit done. You know, today I fucking woke up at 7:30 and I spent until 3 o'clock damn near trying to do other things that weren't the podcast. And then once I started to do the podcast, put the thumbnail together, do all those things, I'm like, fuck, man, I just spent damn near 2 hours doing this. I could have been done. Everything could have been uploaded by 6 o'clock if my ass would have just woken up an hour and a half earlier. So I need to work on that. And I definitely need to get back to jump roping, guys. I was fucking killing it. I was killing it for somebody that doesn't do shit. I was staying consistent. My numbers were going up every single day. And then I got sick. I was fucked up. There was no way I was going to be jump roping shit, because I would have fucking literally coughed up a lung. And then I went on vacation, and now I'm back, and I'm trying to get fucking things going again. But stay on me about that, big kids. stay on me about jump roping, because it's good for, you know, you get out there, you get as many as you can in 15 minutes. You're fucking pushing yourself, your heart's beating, you feel good. And I was loving it. I was doing that. I was getting some push-ups when I first woke up before I go to bed. I was getting my crunches when I first woke up, got to bed, I was feeling good. Then I got sick, so I got to get back on the fucking back on the tracks here with that. But besides that, guys, man, life is good. A lot of unfair shit going on, but I can recognize that, and I can take my wins where I can get them, and I can maneuver around the losses. And, you know, we just got to keep on keeping on, guys. As Joe Dirt would say, keep on keeping on. And just know that things could be worse. And know that if you want things to be better, things aren't just going to become better. You got to go out there. You got to take it. You have to put in the time. You have to sometimes put in the effort. The time's just not going to be enough. You got to put in the effort. You got to break your fucking back. Your shoulders got to hurt. Your knees got to hurt. Your feet got to hurt to get what you need to get done. You know, but at the same time, stay humble. Just because you put in time does not mean that you worked fucking hard. You put in the time. Remember that, guys. There's nothing wrong with having a cushy life. There's nothing wrong with having a cushy job. What's wrong is when you try to act like that life and that job are a lot harder than they actually fucking are. You know, count your fucking blessings. I'm not even a religious dude, but I count my fucking blessings. Because I know things could turn sideways real motherfucking quick. And then even when they do that, that's still not the worst thing that can happen. You feel me? When things get bad, that's still not the end of it. But if you take your wins when you could get them, and you can work around the L's, I promise you guys, life will be a lot fucking nicer to you. It'll be a lot nicer to you. And with that said, guys, I'm going to get out of here. But first, you know what it is. Be safe, be easy, and wash yo ass. It is hot and muggy out here. I'm out of here. Peace.